Hi class, trust you all are doing great today. So we'll begin with our lessons for today. But first of all, before we begin, for our previous lesson, I think we talked on the summary. I gave a brief summary of Lila the Latin maker. So today we'll be talking about the techniques and the strategies based on Lila the Latin maker. So we'll start with the materials we'll be using for this particular course. We have one, a printed copy of the story The Curious Journey of Lila the Latin Maker, or a digital version of it. Secondly, we have a whiteboard or chart paper and markers. Next, we have writing journals or notebooks. We have pens, pencil. We equally have the use of your phones. Yeah, there's this section where we ask you to use your phones. We also have your laptops. We have your computers that you'll be making use in this particular lesson. So now, what is the next? The next is the lesson objective. What is the lesson objective of this particular course? 1. To develop speaking skills and creative strategies inspired by the story Lila the Latin Maker. Next, we have we have to build confidence in expressing ideas and emotions related to story, to themes. We equally have to encourage teamwork and critical thinking through interactive speakings with your classmates, your friends. So the next is the warm-up or the discussion. So I'll ask open-ended questions like, what do you imagine a Latin maker does? Why might Latins be important in different cultures? We all saw the importance of the Latin. That's the last lesson that we had. We saw the importance of the Latin, the symbol of the Latin in the village. So now I'll be asking, why might Latins be important in different cultures? Okay, we'll move on. So next we have the instructions and the model. I will instruct you to, first of all, discuss after the story. I'll give you a guide, a short discussion on the key themes, the hope and the self-belief and the resilience we have. I will tell you to give me the symbolism of the Latin and its light. Okay, what was the importance of the Latin? What was the importance of the Latin? What was the symbol of the light that came up from the Latin? Okay, so we'll move on to the next, which is the guided practice. We have the activity. Together as a class, I will instruct you all to write a list of challenges the traveler might have faced in the forest of whispers. I believe you all heard of the story of the forest of whispers, the strange man who had to go into the forest. Yeah. So we'll be doing activities together as a class, right? The challenges the traveler faced, and it's going to be interesting, right? So next we'll do the prompt discussion. How does Lila's Latin symbolize guidance? And how does the traveler's courage influence its light? Write the key ideas on the board. Also, we have the independent practice. But before I continue, is there any other question? Is there something you did not understand that you want me to go back? Then I will briefly go back. If not, then I'll forge ahead. We have creative writing prompt. Students will write a diary entry from the traveler's perspective, reflecting on the lessons learned after emerging from the forest with Lila's help. I will encourage vivid description and emotional reflection. Okay. Then now we have the last, which is assessment. I will make use of sensory, and descriptive language. I'll make use of the ability to stay in character and use appropriate tone or role play. I will assess clarity, structure, and creativity during the presentation. So now, we all talked, or like I said again, I gave a brief summary of Leader the Latin Maker, and I believe we all heard the story, and it was a very interesting story. So this particular lesson for today is the aim of it is just the improvement of technology through using this story. So that will be all for today. If there's anything you don't understand, you can feel free to ask questions. I'm open for questions. If none, then we'll call it for today. So have a lovely day, and I hope seeing you all next. So please, our lessons, please can someone remind me when we will be having classes? I think that's on Tuesday. So your assignment will be that you go with all this I've given. I've already shared a copy of this presentation. So you go home, go over it, and then our next lesson will be able to implement everything that I just presented to them. So do have a lovely day. Bye.